Good morning and welcome to Holy Comforter Episcopal Church's Lego My Bible lesson. My name is Kim Fosse and I am the Director of Children's, Youth, and Family Ministries here at Holy Comforter. And our Lego My Bible class is just one of the children's formation offerings that we have on Sunday mornings. It is typically for our first through third grade students, but it's really good for any student who loves Legos. We've taken this class from the curriculum by Emily Gibbons called Building Faith, brick by brick. Typically what we do is we hear a story and we ask some wonder questions, and then we ask the children to recreate that story using Legos. So the only thing you really need for this class is Legos, and even if you don't have Legos, you can still participate. I'll give you some suggestions at the end of how to do that. So let's get started. The first thing we typically do is we say some prayers at the beginning. So if you're using Legos, pick 3 Legos. If you don't have Legos, that's okay. You can still participate. So the first prayer we're going to offer today is our prayer for something that happened this week that was good. Our second prayer this week that we're offering is a prayer for something that happened this week that maybe wasn't so good. And our third prayer this week is a prayer for something that happened or a prayer for something that you need help with. So think about that for a second and I will give you my prayers. So the thing that happened this week that was something good for me was that I got to spend a lot of time with my family. I don't always get to see them, especially with school and work, so that was really amazing. My second prayer, my prayer for something that happened this week that wasn't so good, is that my allergies have been pretty crazy, and so my face has been really itchy and pretty miserable. And my prayer for something that I need help with this week is a prayer for not feeling so cooped up. In all of the social distancing that we've been doing, it's hard not to feel cooped up when you can't go wherever you want to go, or go to school, or go to work, or do the things you want to do. So my prayer is to not feel so cooped up while we're experiencing this social distancing, where we're trying to keep our community members safe. So those are my 3 prayers. If you want to say your prayers aloud, you can, but you don't have to. But if you want to ask your parents to write those down, I will have something for you to do with those at the end of the lesson. But let's say a prayer together as a group. Dear God, help us to remember you when we gather together. Let bread and wine be 2 of the many ways you show your love. Let us walk with you as your beloved children. Amen. So let's get started with our story. And our story today is a dinner in the upper room, also known as the Last Supper. Jesus knew that the time had come for him to leave this world. He wanted to share his last Passover meal together with his 12 closest friends, his disciples. Jesus loved his friends and wanted to show them his love in a very caring way. As the friends got ready for the meal, Jesus put water in a large bowl and knelt down on the floor. He wanted to wash the feet of his disciples. When it was Peter's turn, Peter said to Jesus, "You will never wash my feet." Jesus replied, "Peter, you don't understand what I'm doing now, but you will later." Peter loved Jesus so much that he said, "Then don't just wash my feet, but my head and my hands also." Peter wanted to be as close to Jesus as possible. As they were eating, Jesus sadly told his disciples, "Soon one of you will betray me. One of you will tell people who don't like me where I am so they can take me away." This upset the disciples, and each one said, "It's not me you're talking about, is it?" When Judas said this, Jesus gently replied, "Yes, Judas, you will betray me." Then Jesus picked up a loaf of bread. He blessed it and gave some to each of his friends, saying, "Take this bread and eat it. This is my body." Then Jesus picked up a cup of wine. He gave thanks and said, "Drink this. It is my blood which I must give up so that the sins of my people may be forgiven." When the meal was over, Jesus and his friends went to the place called the Mount of Olives. Jesus said sadly, "Soon you will all leave me." Peter felt bad. "Even if all the others leave you, I won't," he said. Jesus looked at his dear friend and said quietly, "Before the sun rises, you will pretend you don't know me 3 times." And Peter said, "Jesus, I love you too much to ever do that to you." And all of the other disciples said the same thing. So that was our story. So I have some wonder questions for you. I'm going to ask them and you can write down your answers, and I'll have something for you to do with those at the end. I will also post the I wonder questions in the Facebook post comment so that you can not have to try to remember what I said. I wonder who gathers for you for special meals. I wonder what your family does to remember the stories of God. I wonder what your family does to remember special stories from the past. I wonder what food is served at your family gatherings. I wonder if a friend has ever done something mean to you or done something to hurt you. I wonder what it would be like to have dinner with Jesus. I wonder if any words from this story sound familiar. I wonder if this story reminds you of something we do together at church. I wonder what you think happens to the bread and the wine when the priest blesses them. So take a minute and think about those questions. If you have answers for them, you can ask your parents to help you write those down. And now it's time for us to create. If you're using Legos, that's what you're going to do. You're going to take your Legos, you're going to take a minute to think about the story that we just heard and find something that really stands out to you and recreate that part of the story. If you have minifigures, you can use minifigures to place in your story and pick a minifigure that represents you. And think about where you fit in the story and put that minifigure there. If you don't have Legos, that's okay. There's other ways that you can participate. You can draw a picture to represent the story. You can tape a short video of a recreation of this story. You can use Play-Doh to recreate the story or any other craft medium you have. There's many ways that you can retell this story however you want. Now, when you're done, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take a picture of your creation, whether it's a Lego creation or a Play-Doh creation or a picture, and I want you to send that to me. You can either be in the picture or you don't have to, whatever you're comfortable with, that's okay. I want you to send that picture along with the prayers that you said earlier today. The prayer for something good, the prayer for something that happened that wasn't so good, and the prayer for something that you need help with. And if you answered some of those I wonder questions, you can send me some of those answers as well. And you can send those to me via email at kim@holycomforterspring.org. I check my email a lot, and if you know me, you know I check them really quick, so I will try to respond to those if you have any questions or if you send me something. I really would love to see your creations. And in this time when we are social distancing and not able to worship together as a congregation, please remember that the buildings and our church services aren't the church. We the people are the church, and we're all here for you. The Holy Comforter staff is here for you for anything that you need, whether it's prayer or if you need something basic, some water, toilet paper, whatever you might need, just let us know. We would love to help you out any way that we can. And while we're doing this social distancing, we'll continue to do morning prayer via our YouTube channel, and I'll continue to upload lessons for your children to participate so that even though we are away from each other physically, we're still together as the church. If you are not already a part of the Holy Comforter Parent Facebook group and you are a parent at Holy Comforter with a child here, just ask to join. You can either become friends with Father Jimmy or myself, and we will happily add you to that group. If you don't do Facebook, that's okay too. You can just email me at the email address I provided earlier, kim@holycomforterspring.org, and I will happily email you any of the lessons that we have or the links to those lessons and any questions that we may have to go along with them. I've also been providing some other resources for families on that site as well. So if you're not a part of that group, you're missing out. So don't be afraid to join that group so that you can partake in those as well. So I hope to see you guys again next week at our next lesson, and I can't wait to see you all when we are back together again. Bye.